So we can now go through the question for May 2018. It was question number 3, part C, isn't it? Yeah, so let us go through the question. It is May 2018, question number 3, part C. So that question 3, part C reads that the profit after tax for Moendo Limited as at 30th April 2017 was shilling 6.5 million. The company is quoted at the Securities Exchange. So mine's on page 46. The company is quoted at the Securities Exchange, and its shares are currently selling for shillings 40 each. So the company's dividend policy is to pay out 40% of its earnings for the year as dividend on its 1 million issued and fully paid up shares. The company's profit after tax is expected to increase by 15% per year for the 3 years and 8% per year thereafter. Dividend will grow at the same rate as profit for the company. The shares of the company are expected to sell at 64 per share at the end of the 5 years from now. The cost of capital for the company is 12% per annum. So required, determine whether the shares of Moendo Limited are currently fairly valued, undervalued, or overvalued. So one challenge in the question, you are not given the dividend per share like the previous questions. So we need to come up with how to get the dividend per share. Let us see how to get the dividend per share, because the other process is just the same. The only issue is how to get the dividend per share, so that you get the present value during the non-constant. We also add present value during the constant. So let us see how to get the dividend per share. So dividend per share should be given by earning per share multiplied by dividend payout ratio. Dividend payout ratio. So to compute the dividend per share, you simply get the earning per share multiplied by the dividend payout ratio. Then to compute the earning per share, you simply get the earnings available. So earnings available is the same as earnings after tax. Then we divide by the number of the ordinary shares. So when you go through the question, they were able to give you what is supposed to be the earnings after tax. You see the 6.5 millions. So the question has been able to give you the 6.5 millions. So that is our earnings available. So 6.5 millions divided by the number of the ordinary shares. Number of the ordinary shares were also given in the same area, where they say that the earnings for the year and it is dividend only 1 million issued and fully paid up shares. 1 million. So we divide by 1 million, so that we get 6.5. Right? We get the 6.5. So now our dividend per share. You simply take the earning per share, which is 6.5. So the question had given you the dividend payout ratio. Are you able to see the dividend payout ratio? It is what percent? 40%. Yeah, so get 40% of the 6.5. Get 40% of 2.6. Yes. Yeah. So that was what was missing. Your dividend per share was not there, and that is how you will calculate it. So now we compute present value of the future benefits present value of the future benefits during the non-constant. During the non-constant period. Non-constant period. Now get the present value for the future benefits during the non-constant period. So you will be having the year, then dividend per share, then present value interest factor. Present value interest factor. The cost of capital was given as 12%. So it is 12% for each year, so that you get the present value. So we start off with year one. We start off with year one. So year one, the dividend is 2.6. Like that. So they had given you the growth rate. They were able to give you the growth rate where they said the profit after tax is expected to increase by 15% per year for the 3 years and 8% per year thereafter. So dividend will grow at the same rate. So the first 3 years, the growth rate is 15%. So that's the same as 0.15. So get that dividend per share for year one. When we increase it by 15%, how much will it be? Seven. 2.99. So then you also go to year two. So 2.991 plus 0.15. So what figure do we get for year two? Sorry? 3.44. Then year three, you also get 3.44. We increase it also by 50%. 3.954. 3.956. Pengine mnapata ngapi? So, because it was for the 3 years, thereafter is now up to infinity. So confirm for me in your table, the single period table. What is 12% in year one? Year one. Yes. No, please, the cash flow are not the same. So use the single period table. 0.8929. How about year two? Then year three. Yeah. So multiplied by those figures, get this present value. So add them together. Add them together to get the present value of the future benefits during the non-constant period. So to get the present value of the future benefits during the non-constant period. Sorry? 8.23. Yeah, so that is now during the non-constant. Then you also compute present value of the future benefits during the constant period. So mnapata 8 points. Others, are you getting the same? So let us also compute present value of the future benefits during the constant period. So during the constant period, I gave you the formula that PO should be given by DO 1 plus G divided by KE minus G. But now DO is in year 3. So DO is in year 3. So we need to convert this to year 0. You discount it by multiplying by the present value interest factor. 12% in year 3. So DO is our dividend in year 3, which is 3.956. So they have said that thereafter it will grow at what rate? 8% up to perpetuity. So 8% is the same as 0.08. So KE is the 12%, 0.12. Then we also have G, which is 0.08. Also multiply 0.7118. So that should give you the value of the share. Sorry. Yes.
I don't have to touch on it on Saturday that the share yesterday. So people stands for dividends at what rate? Future or current?
No, the last dividend that was paid.
DO is the current dividend.
The last dividend that was paid.
Oh, and then K is
the cost of capital. G is the constant growth rate. So it is starting from year 3 onwards. Amesema 8% there after. So the last dividend that was paid in year 3 So DO is the last dividend that was paid. So D1 is meant to be the next dividend to be paid, but now we are not using it here. So now you add them together to get the value for the share. Calculate here during the constant, here during the constant. Being in a better 84. So when you add on about I was asking this one, being a better 76 points. So when we add 84.26. Yeah, so the current market price per share was given us 60. Non-market was 60. Yeah. So there is a place they had said that not 60 but 64. The share of the company are expected to sell at 64. So we'll be able to sell the price per share expected to be 64. So this share is undervalued by the market forces. Because the market has given it 64, but the true value is 84. So you comment that the share is undervalued by the market forces. The share is undervalued by the market forces. So let us now go to November 2017, question number 3, part A. We check November 2017, question number 3, part A. So we got to November 2017, question number 3, part A. November 2017. Question number 3, part A. November 2017. Question number 3, part A. Mayona. Sorry, just a minute.
Mimi nashangaa swali. Utatrace maformulas za watu.
So when you go through the question, they had said that they were able to give you the information on that. The ordinary shares of Quaker Limited are currently selling at 60 shillings each at the securities exchange. The price earning ratio is given as 6 times. So Quaker Limited adopts 40% payout ratio as it is dividend policy. It is predicted that the company's earnings and the dividend would grow at an annual rate of 10% for the first 3 years, 5% for the next 2 years, and 4% thereafter in perpetuity. The investors' minimum required rate of return is 12%. So required the current intrinsic value of the shares. Then advise the investors based on the results obtained in A, Roman letter 1 above. So what we shall start off with is simply to come up with the dividend per share. So this one, you remember how we got the dividend per share, but this one, the approach is different, where the question gave you the price earning ratio. The question had given you the price earning ratio. So the question was able to give you the price earning ratio. So price earning ratio, the price earning ratio is supposed to be given by market price per share divided by the earning per share. So we make the earning per share to be the subject. When I make the earning per share to be the subject, it will be the same as market price per share divided by the price earning ratio. So the question gave you market price per share. The question had given you the market price per share. Are you able to see in the first paragraph?
Yes.
It is how much? So we take the 60 divided by the price earning ratio was given us how many times? So divide by 6 times. So that should give you which value?
Yeah.
So it should be able to give us 10. So now from there, we should now calculate the dividend per share. So to calculate your dividend per share, it is the earning per share multiplied by the dividend ratio. Multiplied by the dividend payout ratio. So earning per share is the dividend payout ratio was given as what percent?
10%.
Dividend payout ratio. In the second paragraph, Quaker adopts 40% payout ratio. So 40% of that is the same as 54 shillings. Yeah, so now we start now with the present value of the future benefits. Present value of the future benefits during the non-constant. Non-constant. present value of the future benefits during the land constant. So you will be having the year dividend per share, present value interest factor, present value interest factor. So the question gave you the cost of capital as 12%. And present value. So we start off with year one. So you take 4 and 1 plus G. The first 3 years, the growth rate is what percent?
10.
So it is 10% for the first 3 years. Then year 2, so take 4.4. Sorry? This one class?
The second one.
4.84. And year 3.
Five point eight.
5. So go to year 4. Year 4, it could be at what percent? So it was 5% for the next 2 years. So the one for year 4 should be how much? Sorry? 5.5. Then year 5 is 5.59. Also increased by 5%. 5.86. So 12% in year 1 is the same as 892. Year 2. 7972. Year 3 is 0. What? Then year 4 0. Finally to 0.5674. So multiplied by those figures, that's the present value. Then we add them together. Then after that, you also compute the present value of the future benefits. The constant. So during the constant period, DO should be given by DO1 plus G divided by KE minus G. But now our DO is here 5. That one is also here 5. So thereafter it is growing at what rate? So 4% the same as 0.04. Also KE is 12%. So you will add them together also to get the value of the share. So that was the Roman letter 1, where they want to get the current intrinsic value for the share. So Roman letter 2, they were asking to advise the investor based on the results in A Roman letter 1 above. So currently the price is 60, but you umeniambia ni ngapi?
61.70.
Yeah, so that means the share is undervalued by the market forces. The market has given it 60. Yeah, the market has given it 60, but you are getting 61.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we conclude that the share is undervalued by the market forces. The share is undervalued by the market forces. So that is now all when it comes to the valuation of the ordinary shares.
The difference that you're getting in terms of this.
So first I said, you do it them in the 4 decimal places. Then finally you round off finally into 2 decimal places.
Leaving even because they are some, you are getting the PV of which are doing constant. Some of them at the PV. We did need to just compare some of the but we are going before. So that's kind of variation.
But the variation may not be material except this particular question. Hii tunaona hiyo ni tunapata 61 na ile tumepewa ni 60. I'm saying for material purpose it may not have any effect, but this particular question it will have an effect. So tunaona tumepewa 60 na hii mnapata 61. Yeah, so some people if they round off into 2 decimal places probably it might be less than 60. It might be 59, so it gives you a different decision, but working does not affect. Si mtu ameona what you have done. Yeah. If you have calculated this one correctly, the others correctly, some is
will be continuing to place.
Yeah, I was saying specifically for this question because they are too close. But from the working, someone cannot deny you the marks because of that final thing. Someone having done this, he has the concept. Someone has calculated this, having done that. So this last one alone has no effect because you will be given marks according to the workings. You'll be given the marks according to the workings. So the last one was supposed to be 0 from your notes. Now, wakati tulianza valuation for the ordinary shares, they were classified into 3. They were classified into 3. So we got the last one, which is 0 dividend growth rate ordinary share. I'm saying valuation of the ordinary share. You see why we started the valuation for the ordinary share? I said ordinary shares are classified into 3. Those who are in class. I don't know whether it is on Saturday, but I'm just saying go through your notes. Mnaona valuation of securities, valuation for the ordinary shares. I said they are classified into. The last one is which one? Yeah. So now we are on the 0 dividend growth rate ordinary share. The last one is the 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares. 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares. So under the 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares, we summarize that. So we are just writing a short sentence, then we go for the break. We summarize that. Ordinary shares, these are ordinary shares. These are ordinary shares whose dividend remain the same. These are ordinary shares whose dividends remain the same. They remain the same until unforeseeable future, whose dividend remain the same until the unforeseeable future, and therefore their theoretical value, will be expressed as follows, and therefore their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. Therefore, their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. So PO will be equal to D divided by KE, like that. So PO will be equal to D divided by KE. We say that PO is the price of the share. PO is the price of the share. D is the dividend per share. D is the dividend per share, and the KE is the cost of the ordinary share. KE is the cost of the ordinary share. So we can have a short break. When we come back, we shall now go to valuation of the preference shares. Hiyo swali tumefanya hiyo ilikuwa na KE. Ilikuwa inamaanisha nini? Yes, sasa those are the same thing that we are just discussing. So we can have a short break, then when we come back, we proceed.
Professor.
Nilikuwa na stress na sisi. Nasikia kama kulia. Nasikia kama machozi. Mtaniwe tunacheza. Nilikuwa na stress leo. Ama nitasikiza tu kwa Najua tuko na wajaka watatu wengi. Hata huyu pia. Huyu mweupe uko ine. Anashuku huyu kuisuka. Ushakuwa. Basi si ndio yote amjue wadi Iwan so wadi ukiuliza mtu kwa unasemanga nasikia kulia gas. Nasikia kulia. Umesalimia na gati.
Jen, say hi to Jen. Hakuna kurejea usijali ndio bora kwa
Unajua mimi acha niongeze kitu. Mimi kwa internet kusikiza. Ninasikia anaongea kuhusu kusikiza. Ndio class kwa kati. Kwani alianza ile class nyingine. Yana ilikuwa When is the way started? When was That's what we were. So,
Yes.
Niulize swali. Mnalipanga pesa ile? Nataka kulipa, nitakosa kulipa
Chapter 6 is chapter 6 utapata ukiuza standard forecast.
inakuwa mshahara yako.
So we go to the evaluation of the preference shares. Remember, we had said that securities were classified into two. So all preference shares would follow under the fixed return securities. So valuation of the preference shares. The bottom it is classified into what? From your notes. Hakuna swali kwa hiyo nini yenye nafanya. Hakuna swali kwa past nitatumia kufanya hapo. Nimewapea formula, but just in case you get a question, you do it that way. I have no question in the past paper.
Unaweza kutumia moja hata kesho kutumia kisha mwisho
The key ni hizo mbili. Maana hiyo constant and non-constant. Maswali zote ndio hiyo. Sijaiona swali. Just in case. But when I go to the evaluation for the preference share, the formula will almost be the same. There we have some questions. You'll see how it works. So I'm asking for the notes. How have we arranged them about valuation of the securities? So let us now go to the fixed return securities, which will now include them. Yeah, we got the fixed return securities. We got the fixed return securities. So fixed return securities, we shall summarize that they are those securities whose returns remain constant. Whose returns remain constant. Then we continue by noting that the fixed rate of return on the security, the fixed rate of return on the security, the fixed rate of return on the security is known as the coupon rate. Is known as the coupon rate. It's known as the coupon rate. Then we continue by noting that they are classified into a valuation of the preference shares. A will be valuation of preference shares. Then B will be valuation of debenture or bond. B is valuation of the debenture or the bond. So let us start with valuation of the preference shares. We start with the valuation of the preference shares. Valuation of the preference shares. Valuation of the preference shares. So under the preference shares, we summarize that they are perpetual return securities. They are the perpetual return securities. They are perpetual return securities which remains outstanding, which remains outstanding, which remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern, which remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern, which remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value be expressed as follows. So the theoretical value of the security is P4. So it is D divided by KB. P4 what D KB. So where D is the dividend per share, where D is the dividend per share, then KB is the cost of the preference share, where D tunamaliza na ordinary share. Wewe unataka kurudi huko nyuma. Hiyo ni class tulimalizana nayo. So tunaenda, we are on the valuation of the fixed return securities. So tulitokana kwa ordinary shares mbali sana. So this one is D is the dividend per share. So KB is the cost of the preference share. Remember, KE was the cost of the ordinary shares. So KB is the cost of the preference share. So this one has a question. I want us to check November 2016, question number 4, part B. November 2016, there is a question number 4, part B. November 2016. Hiyo swali tu tulidili nayo. November 2016. Question number 4, part B. It is almost the same area. Are you able to see November 2016? Question 4, part C. So check November 2016. We check question number 4, part B. Question number 4, part B. So that question 4, part B, it reads that a firm issued 10% preference shares to raise the funds. So the shares have a par value of how much? 100 shillings each, and are currently selling at 110. The minimum required rate of return by the investor is, so that 8% is the cost of the preference share, which is KB. So required, explain whether the share is overvalued or undervalued by the market forces. We explain whether the share is overvalued or undervalued by the market forces. So You start by calculating the dividend. So dividend is normally calculated on the bar value. The dividend rate there is given as 10%. You see 10% preference shares. So we get 10% of the bar value. Bar value is given as 100. So what should be 10% of 100? 10. So now our PO will be 10. KP is the cost of the preference share, which is the minimum required rate of return. They are given us which percent? 8%. So when we divide by 0.08, 8% is the same as 0.08. So what should be the value of that preference share? So it will give you 1.5. But current market price of the preference, it is currently trading at how much? It is currently trading at 110. So you see that share is undervalued by the market. The market has given it 110, but the true value is 125. So we conclude that the share is undervalued by the market forces. The share is undervalued by the market forces. The share is undervalued by the market forces. So let us now go to the valuation of debenture or bond. Now we go. You say they were classified into two: preference shares and so let us now go to valuation of debenture or bond. Now go to the valuation of the debenture or bond. Valuation of the debenture or the bond. So when it comes to valuation of debenture or bond, we shall also say that debenture or bond are classified into two categories as follows. They are classified into two categories as follows. They are classified into two categories as follows. So A will be irredeemable debenture. A is irredeemable debenture. B is redeemable debenture. B is redeemable. So let us start with valuation of irredeemable debenture. We start off with valuation of irredeemable debenture. Valuation of the irredeemable debenture. So under that, we summarize that these are debentures. These are debentures which normally remain outstanding. They are debentures which normally remain outstanding. As long as the company is a going concern, which normally remain outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. As long as the company is a going concern. Then you continue by writing that it is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. So it will be given by so this part is value for the debenture. So this first part is value of the debenture. Then this other one is interest. Interest. Your interest. KD is the cost of the debenture. KD will be the cost of the debenture. So this is the value for the debenture will be equal to interest divided by KD. So KD is the cost of the debenture. KD So that is now valuation of the redeemable debenture. We also go to B, valuation of redeemable debenture. We have said debentures are classified into two, irredeemable and redeemable. So let us go to valuation of redeemable debenture. We now look at the valuation of redeemable debenture. So when it comes to valuation of redeemable debenture, we write that these are debentures which have a defined maturity period. These are debentures which have a defined maturity period. They are debentures which have a defined maturity period. Their theoretical value will be equal to, present value. Their theoretical value will be equal to present value of, A, or use Roman letter 1. Roman letter 1 is constant interest charges. A is the constant interest charges. Then Roman letter 2 is maturity or redemption value. Roman letter 2 will be maturity or redemption value. Maturity or redemption value. So for that one, I'm saying to get the value of the debenture, so value of the bond will be equal to present value of the interest. Present value of interest. Then we add present value of maturity value or redemption value. So when you want to get the value for the debenture, you simply get present value of the interest per annum. Then we add present value of the maturity value. So we can check a question on that. Check May 2016, question 2 parts. May 2016, question number 2 parts. Go page 62. May 2016, question number 2 parts. Yeah, you should say, Manasman, Takana Museme Asante. You have been directed where the question is. Yeah, so you need to say Asante, isn't it? Yes. Let us check the question for May 2016, question 2, part C. So are you able to see May 2016, question 2, part C? Wamesema on which page? So that question 2, part C, the question reads that online. I hope you have seen the question. Those who are online, I hope they have seen the question. The one which reads that James so is considering the purchase of a 4-year 1.2 million par value bond. The bond has a company's interest rate of 10% per annum. The investor's required rate of return is 8%. So required the current value of the bond. So it is redeemable because it has a maturity period of how many years? You see, it has a maturity period of 4 years. Yeah, that's why it is redeemable bond. So to get the value for that bond, you get present value of the interest per annum. Then we add present value of the maturity value. So the first thing we shall do is to compute the interest. The first thing we shall do is to compute the interest. So interest per annum. Interest per annum, it will be, you see, the interest rate is 10%. So get 10% of the 1.2 million. We get 10% of 1.2 million. It's 20,000. Then maturity value. First, I'm doing some markings before we get the value. So maturity value unless otherwise stated. Maturity value unless otherwise what? Stated is the same as the bar value. So you always note that maturity value unless otherwise specified or stated, it is the same as the bar value. So our bar value is the 1.2 million. Our bar value is the 1.2 million. So we are now at this point, unless they have specified that this is the maturity value, we always use the bar value. So we start by calculating present value of the interest. The present value of interest. So present value of interest, it will be annuity multiplied by present value interest factor for the annuity. So cost of capital was given. The cost of capital is the investor's required rate of return is 8%. So we get 8%. It was redeemable after 4 years. So annuity is the interest per annum, which is 120,000. Confirm in the annuity table. You confirm in the annuity table what is 8% here for. 3.312. Others you have seen it? Yeah. Then we now also include present value of the maturity value. Present value of the maturity value. So this one, you take the 1.2 million. So this one normally occur only once. We use the symbol period table. It normally occur only once. So we use the symbol period table. So you take 1.2 million. So confirm 8% therefore. Confirm 8%. In the other table, it is 0.1. 0.7350. So add those two figures together, they will now give you the value for the bond. So when you add them together, you will now be able to give us value of the bond. Haiwezi kafika 4 million.
1.279.
Naambiwa it is 1,279,452. So let us get another question. The next question is September 2021. September 2021, question number 1, part C. Let us also check September 2021, question number 1, part C. September 2021, page 16. Now you go to page 16, September 2021, question 1, part C. September 2021, question number 1, part C. So that question 1, part C, it reads that Belt Limited issued a 16% corporate bond, with the above value of shillings 1,000. With the above value of shillings 1,000. So the bond will either be redeemed at a 20% premium after how many years? 5 years, or converted into equity at a conversion rate of 100 shillings per 2 ordinary shares. So if 2 ordinary shares are equivalent to 100, each share will be how much? It will be 50 shillings. So each share will be 50 shillings. So each ordinary share is currently trading at the Securities Exchange for shillings 50. Therefore, now specified that. So it is expected that the share price will increase at a constant rate of 5% each year. Minimum required rate of return by investors is what percent? 12%. So when it comes to required, Roman letter 1, current value of what? Redeemable bond. Roman letter 2, current value of convertible bond. So let us start with the Roman letter 1, the value of the redeemable bond. Value of the redeemable bond. You want to see how to get the value of the redeemable bond. Value of the redeemable bond. So we start by calculating interest. We start off by calculating interest. So we start by coming up with. So we have said that value of the bond will be given by present value of interest and also add present value of the maturity value, present value. So I've said we start by calculating interest per annum. Interest per annum. So interest rate was given to you at what percent? 16%. So 16% of the bar value. I've seen the bar value is how much? So 16% of 1,000 is here. 160. It was redeemed. The bond will either be redeemed at what percent premium? After 5. So that's now the maturity value. Maturity value. You get 120%. When it is a premium, it means it has gone up by 20%. When it is a discount, it means it has gone down by 20%. So this one was a premium. So get 120% of the 1,000. So we start by, so now we get present value of the interest per annum. Present value of the interest per annum. So you take annuity multiplied by present value interest factor for the annuity. So the cost of capital, they gave you 12%. 12% for how many years? So the interest is the 160. So confirm in the annuity table. What is 12% in year 5? 3.6048. And now also present value of the maturity value. So this one we use the single period table. 12% in year 5 is 0.8. Yo kona gani? Sorry? Tumetumia hapo juu. Pata 1200. Hii ni cost of capital. That one we just use the cost of capital. So that is your Roman letter 1. Roman letter 2. Roman letter 2, the current value of the convertible bond. So let us now go to the current value of the convertible bond. The current value of the convertible bond, the current value of the convertible bond. So they say that that bond can be converted into ordinary shares. You see that portion? Yeah, then they have said that the conversion rate is of 100 shillings per 2 ordinary shares, isn't it? So when you take 100 divided by 2, it means each share is how much? Yeah, so the bar value per share, the bar value per share. So get 100 divided by 2. So each share is going at 50. So you want to know how many shares will be there, the number of the shares. Number of shares. So we know the bar value of the bond is how much? The bar value of the bond is 1,000. Then they are saying each ordinary share is 50 shillings. So it will give us how many ordinary shares from that? It will give you 20 ordinary shares. 20 ordinary shares. Then they are saying that each ordinary share is currently trading at how much? 50 shillings. It is expected that the share price will increase at a constant rate of each year. So to get the market price per share in year 5, get the market price per share in year 5, take that price, which they have given us 50, but it is growing at a rate of what percent? So 5% is the same as 0.05, but for 5 years. $63.81. Yeah, so now the maturity value. There are 20 ordinary shares, and each share is 63.81. So what should be now that maturity value? Twelve. 6.28. Yeah, so everything remains, it is only the maturity value. So you repeat, interest is not changing. And here maturity value now, it is which year? 12, 76 point what? Sasa mnabadilisha tu hii figa peke yake. Ndio tupate value. But so what it is worth? 3 marks can save a human being in the exam. So we are just repeating now what we have done. Interest is not changing. In fact, we just split from here. We are doing it at this point only. Because interest has not changed. So maturity value, you multiply and then you get the value. Because everything was remaining the same. The only thing that is changing is what? Maturity value. Because now we use the convertible value. So after this working, I only want you to repeat this part. Because interest is not changing. Umeanza tu ama umerudi chini? So hizo marks sita ni mingi sana. The 3 and 3 marks ni mingi. But Roma letter 3 mko nazo. Commercial papers. Yes. Mko na notes za financial markets. Hata hiyo ya sources of finance.
Iko pia.